What if every thought you've ever had echoed into the fabric of the universe, not as a whisper, but as a command? In ancient temples, hidden deep beneath stone and time, mystics believed that the human mind was not just a tool for thought, but an instrument of creation. They spoke in hushed voices of a sacred technology, far older than any machine could be, a power hidden in plain sight, something modern science has only just begun to rediscover: quantum manifestation. But let us be clear, this is not the watered-down law of attraction you've seen diluted in self-help books. This is different. This is the convergence of mysticism and quantum theory, of sacred wisdom and subatomic reality. And it starts with a question most never dare to ask. What is reality? Is it a fixed stage upon which we play our parts? Or is it something malleable, responsive, waiting silently for a conscious mind to sculpt it? Across the ages, from the Hermetic Magi of Alexandria to the dream shamans of the Andes, from the cryptic lines of the Emerald Tablet to the paradoxes of quantum entanglement, whispers of a deeper truth persist. A truth that tells us reality bends to consciousness. In this video, we will peel back the illusion of solidity and causality. We'll uncover ancient secrets that echo startlingly through today's quantum discoveries. And most importantly, we'll take the first steps. Tangible, grounded, and powerful. You will not walk away with a wishful mindset. You'll walk away with a blueprint. This is a journey into the very architecture of manifestation, where your thoughts don't just influence reality, they write it. So light your incense, still your mind, and prepare to explore the mystery that unites science with spirit and thought with matter. Welcome to the first steps in quantum manifestation. To understand the true nature of quantum manifestation, we must journey backward, not just in time, but in consciousness. Long before the term quantum ever echoed through the halls of modern physics, the ancients already knew. In the shadowed corridors of the mystery schools of Egypt, initiates were taught that the universe was a mental, vast, intelligent field in which thought preceded form. The Kabbalion, a Hermetic text born from the wisdom of Thoth, whispered, "But the all is mind. The universe is mental." This wasn't a metaphor. It was metaphysical physics, a code that echoed through the teachings of sages, alchemists, and mystics for thousands of years. The Vedas of India described Akasha, an infinite field of pure potential, primordial space, vibrating with unrealized possibility. The Rigveda sings of Brahman, the underlying formless consciousness that births the cosmos itself through thought and vibration. In Tibet, advanced practitioners of Dzogchen spoke of Rigpa, a primordial awareness that creates appearances based on mental intention. The shamans of South America spoke of dreaming the world into being. Different names, different languages, same truth. The outer world is not separate from the inner world. What you see is shaped by how you look, and more importantly, by what you expect to find. Fast forward to the 20th century, and the veil begins to lift once again. Scientists, once rigid in their materialism, stumbled upon something uncanny. In the quantum world, particles change behavior when observed. Light became a wave or a particle depending on the experimenter's awareness. This wasn't a glitch. It was a revelation. Physicists like Niels Bohr and Werner Heisenberg stood at the edge of mystery, where the act of observing became an act of creating. Reality was no longer fixed. It was participatory. And that changed everything. But the world wasn't ready. The implications were too immense. If consciousness shapes reality, then every human being is not just a passive observer, but a co-creator of the universe. Yet this knowledge was not lost. It simply receded, like the tide, waiting for a new generation to rediscover it. And now, in our age of distraction and disconnection, this ancient quantum wisdom is resurfacing. In the Hermetic principle of correspondence, as above, so below, we find the blueprint of holographic reality. In the principle of vibration, nothing rests, everything moves. We glimpse the essence of quantum frequency. These weren't primitive myths. They were spiritual sciences, encoded in allegory to protect them from misuse. So what does this mean for you? It means your thoughts are not idle. Your intentions are not mere wishes. They are forces transmitted through the subtle architecture of reality, just as a signal moves through the quantum field. But like any technology, intention must be aligned, refined, and activated. You cannot merely want. You must know. You cannot simply believe. You must embody. And that is where the first true steps begin. In the next section, we will unveil the core principles of this forgotten science, how it works, why it works, and how to align yourself with it. Prepare to leave behind what you think you know and step into the creator's seat of your quantum universe. Let us begin with a truth so simple, yet so profound, it often escapes notice. Every single thing you see around you once existed only as a thought. The chair, the screen, the device is in your hand. Each began as an idea, an invisible whisper in someone's mind that was later forged into matter. But this is not just a practical observation. It is the first key to quantum manifestation. All that we are is the result of what we have thought. The Buddha, this is not poetry. It is the physics of the unseen, the observer effect. Thought as catalyst. In quantum experiments, the presence of the observer changes the outcome of what is being observed. A particle behaves one way when watched, and another when unobserved. This is not just curiosity. It is creation in action. When you focus your awareness on something, especially with intention, you collapse probability into reality. The quantum field is like an ocean of unformed clay. It holds every possibility, every outcome, every version of your life. And your thoughts act as the chisel that gives shape to it. But here's what most miss. It's not enough to want something. The field does not respond to words. It responds to vibration. Vibration, the language of the universe. Everything vibrates. You vibrate. Your thoughts vibrate. When you think, you emit a frequency, one that resonates with similar frequencies in the quantum field. This is not New Age fluff. It is rooted in resonance theory, entrainment, and constructive interference. If you think, I am abundant, but your energy is filled with fear, scarcity, and self-doubt, the frequency is not aligned. You may speak abundance, but you vibrate lack, and the field echoes back what you truly are. You attract what you are, not what you want. Hermetic axiom. This is where many fall short in manifestation. They treat it like wishful thinking instead of energetic alignment. So the first step is to become aware of the quality of your thoughts. Not just what you're thinking, but how it feels inside your body when you think it. The field responds to embodied thought. A fleeting thought is like a breeze, but a thought that is felt deep in your nervous system, charged with emotion and visualized with clarity, that's a lightning strike in the field. The ancients knew this. Egyptian priests would ritualize their desires, embedding emotion, symbol, and sacred geometry into every step. In Tibetan Tantra, visualization and feeling are merged to activate desired realities. In Qigong, practitioners would move energy through the body while focusing on outcomes, not to beg the universe, but to command it from within. Modern neuroscience is catching up. Studies show that your brain cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. The neural pathways activated by imagination are identical to those created through action. So when you imagine your desired reality as already done, with conviction, emotion, and repetition, you are not pretending. You are programming your biological field to resonate with a new timeline. And the quantum field listens. The quantum mirror. Here is a powerful metaphor. Imagine the universe as a mirror. It does not judge. It does not think. It simply reflects what stands before it. If you look into the mirror with frustration, fear, or doubt, the mirror shows more of that. But if you approach it with certainty, joy, and gratitude, as if your dream is already yours, the mirror cannot help but return that image to you. This is not fake it till you make it. This is vibrating it until it materializes. In part 2, we will go deeper into the paradoxes, hidden laws, and sacred truths behind this practice. Because the quantum field is not a vending machine. It is a mystical intelligence, and it speaks a language that must be remembered, not learned. Prepare to enter the sacred codes that govern manifestation itself. Now that we've glimpsed the mechanics, the quantum principles of observation, vibration, and embodied thought, it's time to enter the mystical architecture behind manifestation. Because here's the truth: few dare to whisper. Manifestation is not about controlling reality. It is about aligning with the version of you that already exists within it. You are not a beggar asking the universe for change. You are a fractal of consciousness, collapsing timelines with every thought, emotion, and belief. The ancients knew this, but they didn't call it manifestation. They called it transmutation, divine alignment, or harmonic convergence. They didn't see the human as separate from the universe. They saw the self as a miniature cosmos, the multiverse within you. Modern quantum physics suggests that all possible realities already exist. Parallel timelines, infinite versions of you playing out every scenario. This idea, known as the many worlds interpretation, is mirrored in ancient texts like the Upanishads, which teach that all that was, is, and will be is already inside you. So what is manifestation? It is not creating a reality from scratch. It is shifting your awareness to a version of reality that already exists, where you are already healed, wealthy, fulfilled, and awakened. But here lies the paradox. You cannot shift from a place of lack. Desire, if rooted in absence, keeps you tethered to the very version of reality where your desire does not exist. This is the trap. This is why so many fail. The secret is to become the person who already has it, before it appears. The identity shift. Let this truth sink in. You do not get what you want. You get what you are. This is echoed in Hermeticism, especially in the principle of as within, so without. Your outer world mirrors your inner identity. If you want to manifest a new reality, you must ask, who is the version of me that already lives that life? What do they believe? How do they feel in their body? What actions do they take? Not from desperation, but from certainty. When you embody that frequency consistently, you lock into a new quantum path. The field reorganizes to match your new signal. This is why ancient initiates trained in disciplines like breath control, mudras, chanting, and ritual, not as empty traditions, but as tools to entrain the body and mind to higher states of being. It wasn't religion, it was energetic engineering. Symbols, archetypes, and thought forms. Now, let's travel deeper. Reality isn't just energy, it is also information. Your subconscious mind doesn't process reality through logic. It speaks in images, symbols, and archetypes. That is why ancient mystery schools used glyphs, mandalas, and sacred geometry, not for decoration, but to program consciousness. In Tibetan Buddhism, for example, the yidam is a deity-like symbol of a desired state, such as compassion, wisdom, or power. The initiate meditates on the yidam until they become one with it. This is quantum manifestation in action, aligning with a higher archetype until the boundary between you and it dissolves. Similarly, the Kabbalistic tree of life represents layers of reality and identity. As the initiate ascends its paths, they transform into a higher version of self, each level vibrating closer to source. You see, reality is not a machine. It's a living, intelligent pattern, and every thought, every symbol, is a seed within it. The question is, what are you planting? The forbidden truth. Here's the most controversial truth. There is no external universe. All of it, the quantum field, the synchronicities, the outcomes, is filtered through your perception. When you shift perception, you shift everything. This is why Jesus said, "The kingdom of heaven is within you." Why the Gnostics taught that the material world is an illusion formed by belief. And why manifestation isn't just about getting stuff. It's about remembering your nature as the dreamer, not the dream. In the next section, we will bring these secrets down from the clouds and into your hands. You will learn how to harness these laws in practice, how to live as a quantum creator through techniques that were once reserved for initiates and sages. Because knowledge without embodiment is an illusion, but knowledge embodied is alchemy. Now that we've lifted the veil on the hidden structure of reality, now that you know manifestation is not about wishing, but embodying a higher state of consciousness, it's time to bring the sacred into the simple. This is where true power lies, not in theories, but in ritualized action, not in desire, but in alignment, not in trying to control the quantum field, but in tuning yourself to it. Here are 3 foundational steps, real practices, to step into your power as a quantum creator. 1. The frequency calibration ritual. Every morning, before the mind gets hijacked by the world, before you scroll, before you speak, you must tune your field. This is not positive thinking. This is a vibrational command. Begin with stillness. Sit or stand. Take 3 slow, deep breaths, in through the nose, hold, exhale gently. As you breathe, imagine light entering your crown, flowing down your spine like liquid gold. Now close your eyes and see yourself, as if it's already done. See the reality you desire. Feel the sensations of it. Speak aloud, or silently. I am now the version of me who has already arrived. My body, mind, and soul align with this timeline. So it is. Your nervous system doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. By feeling the state before the evidence appears, you signal the quantum field to reorganize. Do this daily. No exceptions. 2. The identity mirror. Your identity is your signal. Your signal is your reality. Each night, stand in front of a mirror, not just to reflect, but to reprogram. Look into your own eyes, seriously, not as the person you were, but as the future self you are becoming. Ask, what does this version of me believe? How does this version speak, walk, and choose? What habits are now natural to me? Then say aloud, I now embody the self that matches my vision. I no longer chase, I attract by being. Every cell in my body vibrates with divine certainty. This act, done consistently, rebuilds your subconscious identity, which silently dictates 95% of your behavior. 3. Collapse the gap technique. Most people live in a constant vibrational gap between where they are and where they want to be. Here's the secret to closing that gap. Act from the state, not toward the goal. Let's say you want abundance. Instead of saying, "Oh, I want more money," ask, how would my abundant self feel, choose, and act right now? Would they panic? Would they stress over pennies? Or would they act with calm confidence, trusting the field to return what they radiate? This isn't delusion, it's resonance. You are not ignoring reality. You are tuning into a truer reality beneath the noise. Make decisions from that future self. Speak as they do. Dress as them. Walk with them. Not to pretend, but to collapse the quantum waveform into your chosen state. Bonus tool, anchoring with sacred symbols. Throughout your day, use physical anchors, such as stones, rings, talismans, or drawings, that symbolize your desired reality. Each time you see or touch them, return to the state. Whisper your affirmation. Recall your vision. Breathe it in. In time, these objects become charged, not with superstition, but with intentional vibration. This is what magicians and mystics knew. Every tool, every word, and every symbol is a portal when imbued with awareness. These are not tricks. These are keys. They are not about forcing outcomes. They are about becoming magnetically aligned with them. Remember, you are not waiting for your reality to change. Your reality is waiting for you to change the channel. When you do, everything shifts. We have journeyed from the ancient whispers of forgotten sages to the cutting-edge revelations of quantum science. We uncovered that manifestation is not a magic trick performed by wishful thinking, but a profound alchemy, a dance between consciousness and the unseen fabric of reality. The first steps in quantum manifestation are simple yet deeply transformative. They invite you to fully embody your desired reality. Speak and act as if your highest vision is already true. This is not just metaphysics. This is a practical mastery of your inner world that shapes the outer. Remember, the quantum field does not respond to scattered desires, but to focused vibration, to a consciousness that knows, feels, and moves as if the impossible has already arrived. As you begin these practices, the frequency calibration, the identity mirror, the collapse of the gap, you step into a lineage of ancient alchemists and mystics who understood that reality is fluid, a sacred canvas awaiting your deliberate touch. This is your invitation to awaken the creator within, to no longer wait for life to happen, but to make life happen through your elevated state of being. So I leave you with this question to carry forward. If reality bends to the will of consciousness, what reality will you choose to create? If this journey into the first steps of quantum manifestation has stirred your soul, share your experience below, your thoughts, insights, and questions. Together, we illuminate the hidden path. And if you seek more ancient wisdom woven with modern truths, subscribe and join this sacred exploration. Remember, the power to manifest is not outside you. It is the awakening of who you truly are. Until next time, keep tuning your frequency and watch the universe respond.